morning, good morning, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the sarcastic barman and welcome to my channel. You're an idiot. Your argument's fucking stupid. You dropped on the head as a child. To some stupid, ignorant, ignoramusly ignorant stupidness. Got a bit of goddamn stupid that's gonna make me scream. No, you cocked that up, didn't you? You want me to think the human body can go that fast without being smushed to a pancake? I do the most stupid things in the world. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the sarcastic barman and welcome to my new show. See you next Tuesday. A show that will send you on a trip that will make the Beatles proud. A show that's 90% alcohol, 15% bad science, and 25% I should have paid more attention at maths. Running the show in Twiddling the Knobs this week, as always, is going to be the semi-world famous Colon. How are you doing, Squire?
I'm trying my best. And semi? What do you mean semi? I've never had a semi in my life.
For fuck's sake, why did I leave that one open as a joke like that? Fucking hell. Oh, and then join us tonight as our main guest of the evening, the cat that always makes us smile. It's Baldy Cat. Oh, shit, no, we got the other one, didn't we? It's Conspiracy Cats.
Hey, how you doing? You did leave yourself open to colon semi, though, didn't you?
I did. I shouldn't have sat down on it.
Amazing. Brilliant. What a start.
Oh, you got to love a good semi at the start. It always keeps us going. So, how are you doing, Cats? What's been going on with you? I've just seen you over at Seek Truth, Speak Truth, having some fun there.
Yeah, he's had a birthday stream. I've gone on, said hello. Now I'm over here. Looking forward to the night. Should be fun.
Fingers crossed, it's going to go well. And just to check, what's the debate tomorrow on Agree to Disagree? Because I really enjoy those.
Well, thank you for asking. We are not going live this week. We will have one next week, but there will I might go live on my channel, perhaps. Cool. But we're not going to have one this week.
Oh, never mind.
So just one of our weeks off.
Oh, time off. Is it time off? How rude.
Yeah.
I don't have time off. Only I get time off because the pub's shut, which means I have to do all the excess drinking here and now. Yay! So
you don't want the stock going to waste, do you?
God no!
You don't want it going off.
I mean, that wine. I mean, just because it's got a cork, it might go off. I better double check and make sure it's all safe to know.
Absolutely, I don't blame you at all.
So I've got a couple of either silly or stupid science questions for you, or we've got a couple of videos, or we can chat crap that also involves some silliness. But I did have one thing to ask you. Did you know that 2020 was the shortest year since 1916?
Now, are we talking about the shortest year in terms of orbiting the sun or the shortest year in terms of adding the day lengths up?
Adding the day lengths up because of 2020 having so many short days with the rotation of Earth being very slightly quicker by like half a millisecond and things like that. And the GPS manufacturers are wondering whether they're going to have to drop an entire second on their things. So they normally add seconds, but yeah.
Yeah, first ever drops. Now, I did read an article on that. I say an article. What I mean is that I saw something on BBC News website. I use the word article to make it sound like I've done, high IQ research. Because someone mentioned that to me and I Googled it. And is it, and I'm asking, I'm asking, is it to do with the melting of the poles and that changing the shape of the Earth slightly? That's
what I saw for it as well. And I'll be even worse. At least you went to BBC for yours. I found it off Hank Green's TikTok, which is terrible. But at least it's Hank Green. I know it's still TikTok, but at least it's Hank Green. And he was talking about it and I was like, that's really interesting. So I did a bit of reading up on it and I found a page on Nature about it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, the melting of the ice caps due to possible global warming, just for any of those weird people in there are going to say it's not global warming is not a thing. But yeah, they think that the shift in the mass of that is like when your ballerina's spinning round and round, pulls their arms in and spins faster. I thought, that's fucking well interesting.
It is incredible, isn't it? And like I said, the fact that GPS manufacturers are now having to actually consider what we got to do about this, so our technology still works, is it just shows how amazing tech is at the minute, isn't it?
Oh, it does, yeah. But I think that's a good one for globe proof as well for these nut jobs online that you can say, well, you do know that these GPS people have had to do this because of the spin, unless you've got a reason why the sun is suddenly going faster. No. Yes, you have no reasons for anything, you strange flat earthers.
Yeah, well, we know that for sure. But yeah, no, it's fantastic. I find that really interesting. But I am a geek, so what can we say?
There's nothing wrong. Go on.
Did you know that Doctors, a popular soap in the UK, recently actually had a show, or one of their episodes, where a flat earther was the father of one of the main stars?
No.
Yep, it aired this week.
They've invaded the mind-numbing daytime television.
It's the BBC Diversity Drive.
Oh, it must be. What I found out was the actor who actually wanted to play the part is a flat earther.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh. Why? It's something that it's never going to settle in my head that how can people think this? It's just wrong. Oh. It's wine.
It's just about. I think the flat stuff. I don't think people come to the conclusion that the Earth is flat based on any kind of research. I was on the Simon Dad podcast last night. It's not come out yet. And Matt Dillahunty was on, and he just summed them up amazingly. He just said, essentially it's just people looking to book authority, and it doesn't matter what you tell them because you've told them it's wrong. Mm-hmm. And that the flat earthers, they're the same people who will instantly call something like Sandy Hook a false flag. They just it's not it's wrong. It didn't happen. And it's I don't know. It's worrying that mentality is becoming so commonplace on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's one as well that people also get to just turn off their brains? They don't have to think, oh God, we're moving at this. This is because of this, and all the science that goes into it. I don't even want to say it's complicated science, but they can just go, no, the flat just seems easier to understand. And I think it's people just being lazy in their brains.
100%. When I first started, I'll tell you an analogy now I use in some of my early videos where I had an argument with a kid at school. I don't know why I had an argument with a kid at school, because it was over when I tell you the story in a minute, you'll think, why were two kids arguing about that? But this kid told me that if you put more petrol in a car, it was like, if I was in charge of an F1 team, I'd put all the petrol into the car, make the fuel tank bigger, and then the car would go faster. And I said, no, the car wouldn't go faster because it would be heavier and it would go slow. And he said, no, he said, does petrol make, and he argued like a flat earth. He said, does petrol make a car go? I said, well, yes. He goes, well, therefore, then the more petrol, the faster it goes. And that was it. He didn't want to know anymore. And he just, looking back at that now, just reminds me of talking to a flat earther.
That is proper silly logic, that one. I mean, you've got to take the weight into consideration on the car and everything like that. This is why they have refills and not have a big tank. Oh, these people are terrible. Just one quick thing. Mandelbot set, I've posted the picture that Ardwin sent me in my Discord, Squire, about, what was it about? The giant ice ball theory, which I haven't looked at. Ardwin just sent it, and it's, oh, here we go. So Earth is actually humongous, like the size of a sun, and we are living in one of the little ponds of a giant ice ball.
Wow.
So I take it, so this giant thing's surface would be like a golf ball or something. That's crazy. I've seen a lot of people. It is inventive. It's slightly crazy, but at least they have gravity. I mean, fuck the fact that the gravity on something that big would squish us all like pancakes. But I did see a silly one that a lot of them seem to be pushing at the moment is Crater Earth seems to be making a comeback. It's like, why? It's just like, oh.
It's just to be trendy, that, isn't it? It's just somebody wanting to push something because somebody somewhere is doing that for a bit of fun and attention seeking, and then somebody else somewhere is putting no thought into it and just swallowing it up line and sinker, aren't they?
They are. While we're speaking about ice, though, I do have a question for you.
Go ahead. Is
glacier ice rock?
Oh my God. How do you see? My understanding of rock, and this is only going to be at a high school level, so I appreciate that there is going to be much more sophisticated answer to this. But to me, a rock is something that's part of the rock cycle. So I would say no because of that. But then there'll be geologists in the chat or people who know better telling me I am totally wrong. So I'm prepared to be wrong on that. I'll say no, but I'm prepared to be wrong.
Well, the bit I found was a rock would be a solid collection of minerals, and it can be in a pattern or something like that. It's why I said glacier ice, because obviously you could then say it's a sedimentary rock because it's made up of lots of like little bits of ice and snowflakes and stuff like that that's then collected together, compressed, and possibly become a rock. And I thought, ooh, that's an interesting one. But then that leads you to the other thing, that is water lava.
I don't think water's lava. No, that's never heard that before.
Isn't lava any molten rock that comes from a terrestrial planet? So if we can find a way for glacier ice being rock, then in theory we could have water being lava. Then we could all be lava people because we're 70% lava.
And this is the fun flat earthers have when they're playing the definitions game, isn't it?
Yes.
This is the fun they have.
Well, that's why I thought I'd bring it up, because it's that silly definitions that works with science if you take it in a certain way. Again, Hank Green led me to this. Fucking Hank Green, he's a pain in the ass for the stupidness. But yeah, because he thought that rock can be considered, that ice could be considered rock. And I thought, well, that's mad. I need to ask someone else who's got more than 3 brain cells, unlike me. So I thought, oh, you'll be perfect for that. So I thought, oh, we'll see what you sort of had anything on it. But it's the water being lava that I thought was the best bit. I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah, no, that is good. I'm just wondering, did anyone in the chats? Because I haven't got the watch page open. I need to open it. I hope it doesn't start blasting out noise. Done it.
Ardwin said the floor is lava, though. No one, and rock is from Blackpool. Is the 2 bits we've seen. Nothing else on whether no one seems to have decided to give a comment on is glacier ice rock. You bastards.
Yeah, one comment.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, one comment, Barmer. Tony Regime puts down igneous rock is liquid at the right temperature.
Yes. I missed that one. So an interesting one. I thought that might have got some more interaction from chat. I thought, yeah, rocks. Woo. It's one to think about, and definitely going to have some fun with that one. But I have to follow that up with one of my stupid questions. I've got all these layered in categories. If lightning always follows the path of least resistance, then why doesn't it only strike in France?
I shouldn't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I just thought it was a silly one that I had to stick in there for just the silliness sake. But as more of a slightly serious question, the speed of light.
Yeah.
So we can't have anything faster than the speed of light.
Except the expansion of space, in my understanding.
Fair enough. But, so if it takes us 1.3 seconds to send a signal to the moon, if I had a really, really, really big stick, couldn't I poke the moon with it faster than light?
Yeah, I've heard Brian Cox talk about this, and he gave a really eloquent answer. And essentially, he said, no, it still wouldn't travel faster than light, even if it's like a dead rigid stick, and you think you push one end. And he talked about the rate of transfer of information, and I'm not even going to begin to try and sum it up the way he did, because he was really elegant. But the answer was no, it wouldn't, believe it or not, travel faster than light.
That's depressing.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? We could have broken the laws of physics.
It's one of those things, the speed of light, it will never get me, because obviously you got to take relativity and everything like that and go, yes, you can't go faster relative. But it's still like, yeah, but if I'm on a train going half the speed of light and I build inside the train another train going half the speed of light, and inside that one, surely, but it's like, no, because you're not moving. It's like, that melts my brain. It's like, nope, you can't.
It's mind-boggling, in it, that stuff. You know, you fire a photon away from you, it travels at the speed of light, but then it fires one back at you, and it's coming at you at the speed of light. And then what the hell? It's very, it's mind-boggling. I love all that. I've never studied all the quantum physics or anything like that to a high level ever, but I wish I had. I wish I'd have done that kind of stuff at university.
It would have been something cool to do. My brain wouldn't put up. My brain puts up with alcohol, and that's about it. But it's stuff that I think is really cool to hear clever people talk about, and you go, that makes more sense than my brain would have made of it. So yes,
I love listening to AB Science talk about it. You know, because he's obviously passionate about it. He's very articulate. He's interesting to listen to, but he knows it. He knows that stuff really well, doesn't he? He
does.
Yeah, he's brilliant to listen to.
Oh, what's Tony Regime said? Things can go faster than light, but they have to have always been moving faster. But you can't accelerate from subluminal to hyperluminal. That's cool.
Now, I'm going to ask him because it sounds like he knows what he's talking about there. Does he mean that they can travel through, that they have to have always been traveling through space faster than light, or be in a region of space that is expanding faster than light? What does he mean by that? Because I'd be interested to know.
That would be a good one to know, because that sounds like a proper interesting someone who understands stuff. While he's typing that, Purple Rhymes with Orange has a serious question. How long would it take for a radio signal from Earth to reach a probe orbiting Saturn? I've got no idea how far Saturn is away. Is Mars 40 minutes signal time?
Well, the thing is that the relative distance between planets is always changing anyway, isn't it? Because sometimes we're going to be closer just due to the orbit, sometimes we're going to be further away. So I'm not sure. Obviously, it's 8 minutes to the sun. But let's have. I'm going to Google that now. Right. How long?
Dave N, I think, has just beat us all to it. Light takes 1 hour and 30 minutes and 43.0173 seconds to travel from Saturn and arrive to us.
Yeah, apparently Saturn is that Saturn to the sun? It's about 10 astronomical units from the sun is Saturn. So yeah. His Google skills are strong.
That was very good. And Tusk has got one he's tagged us in. God, we're getting proper sciencey questions now. But doesn't quantum entanglement mean that faster than light travel is possible in theory? I know a tiny bit about quantum entanglement, mainly because I had to read up after being on with, I think it was on Jen's stream. And oh my God, them on there are just brain boxes galore.
They are, yeah.
They're talking about the quantum entanglement and how even though we can quantum entangle things, you can't send a message through it because you don't know what the change is supposed to be. I did try and think, well, couldn't you just send it in binary or something like that? But I was like, I'm not getting into this conversation because it was beyond me. But I thought it was really interesting, the quantum entanglement stuff.
I watched. Sorry.
So working that out, 9 astronomical units to Saturn from us works out about 897 million miles. And a quick one from Tati says, rock-related question: Aussie or Dio?
Aussie.
Aussie or who? Who was the other one?
Dio.
I'm gonna show myself up here, but Dio who?
Dio was in what bands was Dio in? I know of Dio as in music. Oh, Dio, yes. I'm sure he started in a band. Tati or Tusk would know and say straight away. One of them. He also says Bruce Dickinson or Blaze Bailey. I don't know who they are. Ronnie James Dio, Mr. Fibble says.
No, I don't know him.
Fair enough.
Don't know him. But what we're talking about. I watched a Horizon documentary a while back about an experiment using a telescope and 2 short satellite dishes inside of it, and they were trying to do something with quantum entanglement to prove that it actually existed, etc. It was a really fascinating documentary, but I do remember in that they said it could travel not just faster than the speed of light, but multiple times faster, which is incredible.
Quantum entanglement is supposed to be like instantaneous, isn't it? So the distance doesn't seem to affect it, and it's just like, you poke that and the other one changes. Oh, that's nice.
And the best thing about, and I'm not sure, like, would the delayed choice quantum eraser experiment be that's the best known example, isn't it, of entanglement? Or is there another one? Has anyone in the chat got a better one?
I should wait for them to come up with the quantum entanglement bits. I feel like we're going to go backwards and forwards in here in a minute. The John Dio, he replaced Ozzy in Black Sabbath. So that's obviously where I know the name from, but obviously didn't connect the two. Tony Regime also cleared up always moving faster. The problem with accelerating to faster than the speed of light is there isn't enough energy to accelerate the mass. If you go outside, you can see something that appears to be moving faster than the speed of light. So that's like, so he's on about things that have always been moving faster because you can't accelerate because there's not enough energy. So I'm guessing he does mean outside of the universe, which is really cool. while we're waiting for the bit on, here we go. Tusk for the quantum entanglement. The idea that a message could be sent faster than light was a misunderstanding. The particles react simultaneously, but they can't carry information.
So information's not being sent, but they are reacting. So it's fascinating stuff, isn't it? It's I need to look more into that.
It is definitely an interesting one, but if they're reacting simultaneously, couldn't you just send Morse code and just be like, reaction, no reaction, reaction, no reaction? It's one definitely worth looking into more. We need AB Science to do a video on it.
Yeah, we do. You've got me on something I find fascinating though. But I'm like, could you? Because if you are using it for like a Morse code type thing, like you are transmitting information, aren't you? So there must be, I'm not going to be flat earther about it and come down either way saying I know. But I would imagine that there'd be something stopping that, wouldn't there?
Yeah, but it's the information based on reaction. That's the bit that it's like, you don't. Oh, so Critical Crypt says no, because you don't know which way the entangled particle is going to fall. You can't make it go a certain way. But that leads to, if you say you poked it and it moved and the other one moved, but then if you poked it a lot, would that come through as just movement? Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those, crazy ones. Oh, Mr. Fibble in chat, Feel Jesus in You knows quantum. Next time Feel Jesus in You is on the show, I'm going to ask him in the chat, and that'll really wind him up. Yeah, we've got a resident. We don't know if they're a troll or what, or just taking them in, and they come into the chat on the show, and they're just, I know quantum. The Earth is flat, but just the name Feel Jesus in You. It's so wrong, so wrong. We do have a question for you, though, Cats, from one of my newest members. Yay, Tatty Boggle. Question for Cats. What's your favourite flavour of quark?
Quark. See, I maybe pronounce it wrong. I always call it quark, but I would say possibly a charm quark.
Oh, wasn't Quark the guy who worked in the space station in Star Trek, though?
Deep Space Nine, yeah, that was. That was good. Was Deep Space Nine? It was good. I
really enjoyed the last season. The last two seasons with the wars and stuff like that. It's like, space battles.
It got really meaty then and dark. Some of the earlier episodes were good, but they were a bit light and funny and whatever. But once they got into the war with the Dominion, it was meaty. It was all there then, wasn't it? It was worth the payoff.
Yes.
Can I interject a little bit? If you check out, I think it's Prime on Amazon Prime at the moment, they've got a Star Trek Lower Decks.
Oh,
it's
yes.
Cartoon, but it's brilliant.
I think I've watched the series twice now already. It's really funny, really funny. And at the same point, you can't say it's not Star Trek either. And like a bit like Discovery, which is a bit like hit and miss. It'd be better as a standalone thing rather than Star Trek. Lower Decks is so Star Trek, it's awesome.
I've not watched that. I need to have a look at that.
Oh, you need to watch that. If you've got Amazon Prime, it's on there. If not, other streaming services that may not be legal are available. But yeah, really worth a watch. Really fun. I think they're only about 20-minute episodes as well. And is there 10 episodes, Colon? Can you remember?
I'm not totally sure. I'm about halfway through the first season. I haven't looked properly.
Yeah, it's well worth a watch on that. Just seeing if there's anything else on chat before I get onto anything else. Monty Tom Tom has a lot of wisdom too. That was from Mr. Fibble. I'm guessing that's for good quantum entanglement. We all got excited about it in the Signal Corps. Faster than light communication, a huge advantage. Then it turned out to be a load of old shite at Critical Cripples. That was from Tusk in relation to the quantum entanglement. Oh, another one from Tony Regime. Here's some maths for Cats. The nearest star to our solar system is roughly 4 light years away. Do the old 2 pi r, and it appears that the star is moving just 1 light year per hour. What? That's... No. Have I misread that? So here's some maths for Cat. The nearest star to our solar system is roughly 4 light years away. Do the old 2 pi r, and it appears that the star is moving at just over 2 light years per hour. So I'm guessing that's based on because our star's moving, that star's moving, our planet's rotating, the entire solar system's moving and everything like that.
Yeah. I'd have to know, because surely how fast we'd expect to see it moving across the sky would certainly be dependent on how we are moving. Or is he talking about like measuring some kind of recession velocity?
I'm guessing based on the angles and distances and things that it appears that it is moving, it just appears to be moving that fast. But that's quite cool that you can get something to appear to be moving an entire light year per hour, because that would be horrendously fast. How would that work on a flat Earth? But I suppose the distance would be closer, though, wouldn't it? So yeah, that wouldn't work either.
Oh, sorry, what am I thinking? Like, so these things are so far away. Obviously, even as the Earth turns, that's going to make it appear. It means like from our own zenith, kind of like. Yeah, I think I know what you're saying there. These are getting technical questions tonight. They're good, isn't it?
They are. I'm quite surprised. I thought, oh, my lads are just going to come in and it's going to be drink. Yeah, he says from the rotation of Earth, it appears to be moving that fast. I thought it might have been, but that's cool.
Armin, shall we subject cats to a little bit of blurf on the side?
We could do. I've got one quick question from Critical Cripple, which is an interesting one, actually. How can a laser pointer move across the moon faster than the speed of light? So I'm guessing that's when you're pointing from Earth, pointing it up, and you move. These questions.
God, yeah. But so because you're moving it as short and it's sweeping across the. See, I don't know. All that relativity stuff is way too complicated for me. It's certainly not my thing. But it's interesting. It's fascinating though. That's what I like about it. I'll go after this stream and I'll be thinking, I'm a bit more interested now, and I'll put some quantum physics on the old YouTube. Do my high IQ research.
Open a bottle of wine. Much better plan. But yeah, there's some fair play to my audience. I thought they're going to be silly questions. They're all going to take the mick, just like I expect. No, they're all being quite actually sensible. Wow. Who are my audience? What have you done with my real audience? Colon then. So you've got the flurf on the side ready? Ooh, look, we've changed scenes. I've got a TV. That is actually the TV from my pub.
Nice. How big is that?
No idea. It was on the wall when we got here. So it must be the best part of about 48, I think, thereabouts. It's a good size. It's good for watching the rugby on when you sat behind the bar.
Okay, then. So shall we play this wonderful video that was on the shows last Saturday? But it's worth playing again just to get Kat's take on it.
Are we doing the thing where we say stop in the middle of it, or do we let it run? You
can pause it anytime you like.
Okie dokie.
All right, YouTube, I'm back here after a year trying to finish this project. The question is, can you get the sun angles to work on a flat Earth as you would see on the globe? Now, just recapping here, what I did was I took 6 locations off the same line of longitude. All right, I placed them on this map in their respective places according to scale. All right, and if you recall my last video, I was using this model up here, and you'll see where the top is straight, and I could get the sun to work when it was over the equators. All the angles worked, but not when I moved the sun over, say, Tropic of Capricorn, say during the winter. All right, so now I have this new model here, and you'll see.
Just stop 1 second.
As above.
So what has he said he's done there? My internet's laggy a bit here. He's marked out on the. Is he saying? But that's going to be the position of the sun, or is he saying that's where the sun will appear to be in the sky from the position of the globe? What are those markings?
So that's positions that he's taken on a flat Earth, that when you look up, they should converge to the sun. He's then made this double-sided plexi thing, which he's just said as above, so below, hence the shape of it. And he's going to put the little lights at where these things cross, so you can see that they'll meet up with each other when he moves the camera.
That makes perfect sense. To start with, I thought because he was spinning the globe and he was pointing at bits of different bits of longitude on the globe, and I thought that they corresponded with where he was supposedly pointing on the globe, and it was somehow going to be a projection from there or something. I thought, what the hell is he doing? But that obviously makes a lot more sense. So the bottom of that picture is the flat Earth. The lens is the dome, and then he's going to bring the sun in. Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's depicting it with a singular point of sunlight. He's not going to move it. He's going to be then looking at the flat plane at the bottom to see where the actual angles lie.
Cool.
Okay.
So below, you'll see I got the top looking just identical to the bottom. And if this were the dome, of course, you'd be on the ground here looking up. So let me turn on my sun. We'll see how these angles line up. Right now, the sun is over the equator. This line is the equator. Okay, and we'll check the first location, which is over here. We're going to be looking at the dark line.
And I'll do a pause
And
there,
as
please,
you
Colin.
see,
So, yeah, he's lining up. But I don't know about you, Cats, but my understanding of the flat Earth was the sun was inside of the dome.
Well, yeah, that's true as well. Yeah. Well, he's obviously got a different model. Then he must have two domes. He must be Mr. Two Domes. He's got one that the sun's outside of, and one that the sun's inside of.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Now, is he? So when he's filming that, there is he saying that he can only see that that light at the specific points he's putting the camera? Like if he put his camera in between those 2 points, is the sun just going invisible for him?
He's basically saying it as a look. These line up with observations that the angle at these points going up, they all will converge, so you can see this sun. What happens in the middle, he never shows us because based on the shape, the thickness, and the weirdness of the plexiglass or whatever, it could be freaking anywhere. And he's just actually picked the points that line up. But as he will say later, well, we don't know how high the dome is. We don't know how thick the dome is. We don't know what the dome's made of. We don't know how much refraction it's causing. It's like, well, in theory, you do know that the sun can only be at maximum 3,000 miles away to fit up with observations at 2 points based on the angle of the light coming from them, because otherwise it will never meet up. I mean, it fucks up as soon as you add a third point, but that's not the point.
What about the no, he said he's done this at one specific longitude, right? All the way down one longitude. I think I've got that right way around. What about the people that are either side of that? Wouldn't they have to have a dome shape coming out for them, which would basically make the dome cover a dome, which would make it go spherically around the Earth?
I just think he's not thought it through at all. So he's saying, yeah, it works on this line. But as you say, what about the people to the left, people to the right? Are their angles still going to line up the same? Because I think we'll find they're not going to. It's baby steps for him, because at least this might lead him on the line of, right, so we've got this dome, but then no matter how we shine the lights, we'll only be right at one specific line. Everything else is buggered. So maybe we'll have to figure out how we can make it work. Oh, if we start curving the Earth, that might work.
I think we've damaged Cats.
Just his whole approach is just so bizarre, isn't it? It's just like I don't know, and I'm still confused about what he thinks he's proving. Like that's what's confusing me. If I knew what he actually thought he was proving, I'd be able to give some sort of better rebuttal. But to me, I still think he's just drawn some dots on a piece of paper and then said, "Look, you can see the sun from all these dots." And like when he says these angles measure up. Well, what angles are they? Are they from? Is he given the specific locations of where those places should be? Or are they just random angles he's pulled out his backside?
I think they're random angles he's pulled out his backside. That when you look at them on the piece of paper, they don't line up with each other, but because of the refraction in the plastic, do. But we don't know if these are actual observations taken around the world or using data from around the world, so you can get, yes, at 12 o'clock in Bristol, the sun was at 24 degrees or whatever like that. And he's not used anything like that. I really do think he's just pulled the shit out of his ass. But he's not said either way.
So his argument could be then, if it's the refraction making us all see the fact that even though we should see the sun at different angles in the sky, we don't because of the refraction. So what we actually see would be impossible on a flat Earth without the refraction of the dome. Is that
Yes.
kind of what you're saying?
Yes.
My God. Right.
Yep. And I still can't get past the point that his sun is outside the dome. That's,
No.
it's totally. Anyway, shall we drop this one?
In theory, it's surrounded by water as well if it's outside the dome, isn't it?
Well, that wouldn't do the fire of the sun any good, would it?
And what's making it burn if it's in water?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Don't start.
Oh, what would happen if you had a vessel big enough to put the sun in water-wise? Obviously, it'd all evaporate. But if you could have it suddenly appear in a body of water, would it just all evaporate, or would as it get drawn in as well, would the sun get bigger? Would it all get blown away by solar winds? That's an interesting. Anyway,
would it float? I know sand would float if you put it in water. If it is mainly hydrogen, would it actually float? Assuming the water didn't evaporate, you know.
I would have thought so, because it should displace enough water for that to happen.
If it is just, I don't know how dense the sun is. I'm just going to look. I'm Google fooing it. Density of the sun.
Saying that, it must be quite dense to form the actual reactions inside, isn't it? Because that's all because of its density and the gravitational pull of it all.
Yeah, it does appear that it is supposed to be denser than water, so it would sink. Darn.
Did you Google "will the sun float"?
Yeah, I Googled the density of the sun. I did Google before that, will the sun float? But then I didn't put in water, and then I got back a really patronising comment saying, "Don't be silly. Nothing floats in space." Oh, sorry, everything floats in space. Like, shit, yeah. Sorry, in water.
Oh boy.
Nobody's actually tested Google with the stupid question, would the sun float in water before?
Daybreak of Flint in chat. Density of barman must be lighter than water since he is filled with booze. Thank you, Flint. Bastard.
A little sideline thought on that one. If the sun was in water in a dome and the dome above was a container as well, wouldn't that make it a pressure cooker?
Oh, for God's sake.
Love it.
Rose, the random stuff we think of on this, it's just never going to change, is it? We're just going to pick up random things.
Let's hope it continues.
So is that where we finish this video? Did he attempt to do any kind of calculations whatsoever?
No calculations. He did move the little light about later on, say, look, if the light's now over the tropic of Capricorn, Cancer, whatever, so look, we can see it. And it all lines up. But we can't have it directly over the line. It has to be to the side of the line. It's
typical. It's typical, isn't it? Typical. It's like that whole argument. Things get lower in the distance because of perspective. That's why mountains in the distance are smaller than the lamppost in front of you. You know, but we don't want to ask any more questions, because if we've got to start asking, well, actually, at this given distance, how much should that mountain appear to have shrunk? Should it be taller on a flat Earth than that lamppost or not? Once we start asking questions like that, A, we've got to do maths, and B, we prove ourselves wrong. So we won't do any actual predictive calculations.
It always annoys me as well. They go, everything appears disappears bottom first. Okay, why? Because of your angular view limit. Okay, but the thing at the top is further away. You only have to have basic understanding of triangles to know that that line from the 90 degrees down coming to me, that's going to be further than the fucking base of the triangle. Yeah, but you're not seeing through the same atmosphere. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know the 6 foot fucking difference made that much difference. Twats.
Yeah, it's amazing what they pull out the backside, isn't it?
It is.
I don't think they believe it themselves. As long as they've got a sentence they can throw back at you, so they've said something, like, rather than admit they're wrong, they're happy.
Yeah. We've got a couple of bits we've been tagged in chat before we get to it. For cats, as the Earth is made up of debris that came together over billions of years, is it possible that life on this planet originated on multiple others?
Well, you know what? I think it is possible that life, that is a standard theory, that life could have originated elsewhere, but more likely been brought here by asteroids and comets. Things like tardigrades have been shown to be able to exist in space for for long periods of time. I would imagine that when the Earth was formed, because it was in that sort of, when the sun sparked into life and that all that dust had been pulled together, everything was just so hot and lifeless at the time. I'd find that hard to believe. But the fact that maybe that first little drop of life could have landed from a comet or meteorite or been transported somehow, I think that's quite a valid, if not likely, but quite a valid theory that I've heard in the past.
I saw a good one that's almost the reverse of that, really, based on large asteroid impacts and things that we've had and bits being blasted into space once we've had life on the planet, that there is the possibility that as we eventually go out and explore the galaxy and stuff like that, we'll meet not species that we recognize, but ones that are similar to ours, because there's a chance that microbial DNA from our own environment has then blasted off into space, which has then influenced other planets. Or you've also got the reverse, that because it's happened there and then brought the life to us, that we might recognize the stuff going about. They think once we actually get to the moon and start looking more at it, that we should find similar sort of bacterial life dead on comets, asteroid impacts and stuff like that, from when things have hit Earth, blown stuff up into space that has fallen into the moon's gravitational pull. So that's quite cool.
It is. You were talking about Amazon Prime before. I've been watching a series called Doomsday. I think it was made a couple of years ago, but it's just new on Amazon Prime. And it's about 10 different ways that the Earth could end. And in one of them, well, it doesn't go well for humanity in any one of them. But at the end of one, it did talk about the Voyager probe escaping the pull of the black hole that destroyed and ripped the Earth apart. And it was saying that, even stuff like that will be carrying bacteria with, that when that is either picked up or lands on another planet or something, are we seeding somehow another body with life from Earth that way?
Nice. See, the cool stuff that we can find online and actually watch. We have another oh god, no. So I got a ranty in chat. I don't know if it's the real ranty. I will have to say, for ranty, that podcast that you put on your channel from your podcast thing, I really enjoyed that. And was that the proper flat Earth ranty with you? Because I was like, no, he sounds far too sensible to be ranty. I was like, that was a really good show, and I keep meaning to go and watch more of them. But yeah,
I'm gonna have to ask him if it's the real ranty. I've just hit him up on Skype. You know what? I have such fun doing those podcasts. I've always listened to stuff like Coast to Coast AM, and anyone who's interested in like Jim Harrell's Campfire. Not because I believe the stories, but because everybody likes a good ghost, or lots of people like a good ghost story. So to have the that is ranty, yeah. So nice. to have the chance to do a podcast like that, but do it differently, to then have the chance to say, well, hang on, have you thought that it could be some sort of dissociative disorder that you've got, or it could be something to do with infrasound that's making you think you're haunted, and at least try and offer some kind of scientific explanation. It's fun, and the people that come on, they're nice. So yeah, it's a bit of fun.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'll just read the comment from Ranty. Tag to me for you. Can you ask cats to explain diffraction limit? I think that was when we were talking about things disappearing.
Yes, there's the diffraction limit. I've got a feeling Ranty wants to talk about diffraction limit on a inside a digital camera, but essentially, when light passes through an aperture, it will diffract. You'll get a diffraction pattern. You'll get basically, as it passes through the gap. I'm going to go all technical in you now, Ranty, or as technical as I can. As it goes through the gap, each tiny little bit of that wave in that gap acts as what we call a Huygens source. It's like a new point source of light that radiates a wave off in all directions. Imagine dropping a stone in a pond and that wave goes out. So you get lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of these waves all interfering with each other. And when they hit the screen, you'll get a pattern based on how they've interfered. Now that comes from one particular part of an object you're looking at. So if you're looking at a boat in the distance, then that you will get one pattern, just one, from one particular point on that boat. But of course, in the back of your eye, you've got the whole image of the boat, which means you have millions of these patterns. And when these patterns get so close that the maximum brightness, the maximum peak, the central peak of one is over the first dip, the first bit of destructive interference of the other, then you've hit what we call the Rayleigh Criterion. And you can, that's any closer than that, and you cannot resolve between them. But that happens at a given distance, and that distance is calculatable. It's just, it would break the laws of physics for that to happen to the bottom of an object, but not the top of an object, which is why when Nathan talks about things diffracting into the distance, he just doesn't know what he's talking about, basically. Sorry, I waffled there. That was fine. That was a lovely answer. Very good.
Dogwalker does point out, though, it's not the real Ranty. It's just Katz's silly voice. Sorry, after that amazing answer, I then fill it up with that silly comment, but I thought it was worth it. But no, thank you for that one. Thank you, Ranty, for joining us and asking a nice, sensible question. 48 minutes in. We've got just enough time to look at the idiot sandwich that I prepared. If you want a quick laugh at some of the silly that we found from TikTok this week.
Cool.
When you're ready, Monsieur Colon.
Sure. So this is going to be a weekly segment for the barman. He's definitely into his TikToks. I believe you like to dance, don't you?
I do. I like shaking my fatness.
Masturbation 2 times a week increases your life expectancy of 20%.
I am fucking immortal right now.
Okay? It's offensive because I'm saying COVID is a con.
Yes, I find it offensive. I'd ask you to step back from me, please.
You've not heard of the World Doctors Alliance, then? Or the Great Barrington Declaration?
I find it offensive.
Where doctors... So because you're offended, you're not letting me shop?
No, I'm not letting you shop today, sir. I'd like you to leave the store now, please.
Can I just finish what I'm getting?
No, I'd like you to leave the store.
You'll be hearing from my solicitor and you'll be hearing from my radio station as well.
Thank you very much.
What's your name, please?
My name's Mike.
Right, so you're a Tesco manager and
Yes,
you're
I'm one of the managers.
throwing me out of the store
Yes.
for wearing a mask that I'm required to wear.
Yes.
So, I'm wearing this mask and I'm not allowed to shop in Tesco's.
No, you're not allowed today. Can I just ask you to step
Douche.
to one side?
No, complete and utter douche. I'm not surprised they kicked him out. I'm surprised he got through the door, to be fair.
Hey guys, I have another conspiracy theory. I am thinking that seagulls are spies for the government. Now think of the last time you saw a baby seagull. That's right, never, since they're all spies.
The Earth is round, right?
You know, didn't they try and use
all the way down there.
birds or something in World War II for some sort of spy?
There was birds to fly like rockety plane things where they would tap a certain point of the screen and there was a mesh or whatever in front of it with the pickup. Yeah, the bird wants to go in this direction, and it would guide them. And it was trained from rewards of food that we want you to hit this building, so we'll show you this building. If you tap this building, you get food. And yeah, so these flying bombs would be guided by pigeons to their destination. I thought it was really cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we haven't finished yet. I thought we'd just pause it there because very interesting picture. How is this possible? If the Earth was round, this wouldn't happen. Really?
Oh, the dark clouds on the bottom and the light clouds on the top, and the sun's set.
My word. Well, they turn the picture upside down.
Okay, let's play on.
It's still bright as hell. If the Earth was round, them clouds would be dark. Everything would be
Oh, God, yeah.
The sun is just going out of our sight. It's going over the flat horizon. Just going farther away. It's perspective.
They've infested TikTok as well.
Because if
They
the
have.
Earth was round,
There's some
it's
serious
no way in
nutters on
hell
TikTok.
Them clouds would still be bright.
But that's just a simple understanding of geometry, though, surely. Hey, is that my ex-girlfriend?
Oh, you're a fucking party worker. You definitely are. I told you fuck your mom. Fuck your mom, bitch!
Wow.
What?
What was that about?
Check this out. Let me know what you think about this. But there was a contrail found on Google Earth that went on a straight line all the way from the bottom of Antarctica, straight through, nonstop, 13,000 miles, all the way to the North Pole. We don't have planes that fly from Antarctica all the way to the North Pole in one straight solid line without breaking any angles. Keep in mind, whatever left this contrail had to be moving at an extremely high speed, because any condensation trail spanning 13,000 miles would have dissipated before whatever left it behind got to the other end. Now, y'all know I have some videos on my theories of Hollow Earth and Antarctica, but I encourage you guys to look this up yourself.
How does he think those Google image photographs are taken? Does he?
I don't think he actually knows. But yeah, so he thinks that the one contrail going the entire way is either UFOs from the Hollow Earth.
Wow.
That was good. That was good. Oh, I've been tagged in lots of things. Ranty was chuffed that we thingied his thing. And then the rest was all to do with Project Pigeon. So Ugly Jim Truth saying us Tony Regime was saying they repurposed the technology for Pigeon's guided missiles to spot orange objects for air-sea rescue. That's really cool.
It's fully useful information tonight. Wasn't it him that gave us the information before about the entanglement?
It was, yeah. He was talking about the entanglement, speed of light and things. Fair play, Tony Regime. Some great comments there. Great comments from everyone, actually. It's been a really good night. As my first live stream that's properly structured rather than me just saying, I'm going to go live and make pizzas.
I've really enjoyed it. It's been great. It's been great fun. And it's a great name. It's a great name you've come up with.
I'll be fair.
For the show.
Colon came up with that name. He has to take all the credit for that. And I thought the see you next Tuesday. That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
Oh, thank you, Barman.
Yeah, no. But yeah, thank you for Cats for coming to this because, yeah, we're hitting our 1 hour mark thereabouts. Just for anyone who doesn't know, where do we find the podcast with you and Ranty? What days does it come out? And what's your next video, if possible, please?
Well, my next video, I am starting tomorrow, and I'm hoping it's... I've had a lot of help on this. I'm picking up where other people have left off, but that'll become clear when the video comes out. And I'm hoping it will cause a bit of a stir. But I will say no more because it takes me ages to make a video, so I don't know when, but I am starting it tomorrow. The Almost Unbelievable podcast you can find on Spotify, but it is now, I think, available everywhere. I'm sure Ranty can type in the chat exactly where because he knows better than me, but I think it's everywhere you can find it. And it's called the Almost Unbelievable Paranormal Podcast.
Nice. Ranty, I've put you as a moderator. If you want to post some links for that, you're more than welcome to, please, Squire. I'll make sure any links that are posted well get stuck in the description for anyone watching this later on. Yeah, but thank you very much for coming, Cats. Really enjoyed that. There's some great chat and things like that. Colon, thank you for hosting all this. Colon also made the backdrop, sorted out everything for this. Fair play to him. He's a very good man.
Very talented. Really, it looks brilliant. He's got it looking nice.
He has made it look really, really good. I've got a couple of slots. If anyone wants to come on the show one week, please let us know. Tiny Captain, good to see you in chat. I saw your video the other day. I wouldn't mind getting you on here. If you want to come on one week, please hit me up on Discord. Same with goes for anyone else who fancies coming on. And on that note, I think we can all say goodbye. And I think Critical Cripple's got a show. I'm sure he told me he's got a show on a Tuesday. So hopefully there's a critical show to go to. And week after next, don't forget to go and watch the Agree to Disagree video. But otherwise, we'll see you all next Tuesday for more videos. And Thursday night for Les Irribables, where we've all got a set of live videos coming out with myself, Pip, The Snark, Chris Durham's music channel, Dutch Heretic. Oh God, everyone's name's gone out my head. I'm really sorry for everyone. I've just literally forgotten. But on that note, we better end the show. Thank you very much. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.